Oh my god, here they come. Jesus. Alright, let me... Oh, fuck. There's a lot. Hold on. I'm trying to very carefully get as many of these as I can. My god. Alright, here we go, here we go, here we go. If I miss your link, bear with me. So you admit to looking at multiple Vor images on Fur Affinity. Yes, I do admit to looking at multiple images of Vor on Fur Affinity to prove my fucking point. You make the account in 2 minutes, and all of it's accessible to you. You can see it all. Okay, give me links, give me links. We have many. Let's start with this one. Dude, I looked at this one already. Unless you changed it. Did you change it? Because I've already reviewed this Warpaint on stream. Did you change something? Tell me. I need to know. Riddle me this, Gek. You changed something. Updated 1st of March? Okay, so he did change something. Alright, so, let me see. I mean... Unfortunately, I don't have the previous iteration to look at right next to it, so it's hard for me to know what you changed. But at face value, it looks really good. I'm a fan. Like, I think if I remember correctly, the first iteration that you did of this one was really good. And I think and it just looks really good. I like how it's more, if I remember correctly, this was a lot brighter before, so the paper is a lot more muted. I like the shine, the whatever base you're using that has the shine on it looks really good. The colors are a lot more muted than I remember, and that helps it a lot. I think this is really solid. Like, this is really good. This is really good work. It's really clean. It's a clean, simple war paint, and, I mean, I think it's good. I think this is perfectly acceptable for the game. It's good work, man. I like the stamps. I like all the TF2 stamps you got on there. This is really good. The clean, simple war paint. We need more clean, simple war paints like this. Yeah, this is good shit. I like it. It looks really good on the black box. Grenade launcher's kind of haphazard because you get like big blank areas. So this is another one of those war paints where it's going to be kind of touch and go. On certain weapon models, you have to like try to get a really good seed. That's the only problem with this. Is this like I understand that you really want to kind of space out the stripes so it retains the air of looking like. So you have one stripe on there, right? So it retains the air of looking like an envelope. But the only problem is if you get like one crummy seed, then like an entire side of the weapon model is going to be just plain. Like you're not going to have any of it. So I like the inclusion of a gradient to give a variety of color. I dig that. And I like the stamps. I mean, this is, again, it's just good work. Good shit. I got a Frozen Aurora recently because I just love the color palette. Am I in trouble? Yes. I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna beat you to death with a shoe. Flip-flop, sandal even. Oh, there's so many links. Good lord. Alright, next. Next up is this. Blood Money Shotgun. It's meant to look like a roll of pennies. I like it. I mean, it looks good. Like, this is, like, I mean, yeah, it looks like a roll of pennies, but this is, like, you know, in the style of what you would expect to see for a skin in-game. It's very reminiscent of the Gentleman's Collection. It's clean, it's simple. This is a really good skin. I like this a lot more than the previous one. This is really nice, dude. I think this is your best one yet. It's really solid. The only thing I don't like about this is the green. It'll look a little bit weird on red team, but thankfully it's not saturated where it's gonna like really stick out. It's like a nice muted military green, so it'll be all right. And like the pinkish red, I guess, balances it out a little bit, like with the text and the stripes. Yeah, I approve. I'd love to see this in game, but since Valve doesn't add UV skins like this, we will never see it in game, which is really sad. But another example of a very, very nice TF2 skin. Let's see. Next. General Gibbed. Okay, that's clever. Like they have different sticker rarities here. Then like, you know, like a multiple depending on like the star general that you are. That's pretty neat detail. I like that. I like that. It looks a bit crunched. Unfortunately, when you get to 5 stars. I feel like what they could have done is I'm not familiar with military insignia. I'm not sure how the stars are like meant to be oriented, but maybe they could have done like multiple rows of stars and made the sticker like more square, maybe? Because at least on the Medigun, it looks a little funky. Some of these are okay. Like, I think the only thing I don't like about this is how the sticker was handled. It looks a bit kind of slapped on there. Like, I get it's meant to be like a patch stitched onto clothing, so it gives off that feel. I don't know. It looks like I don't know. It like pops too much. Like it looks really harsh against, like, especially this, like, against the camo texture it looks fine, but against like some of the silver bits, that's just the nature of the Warpaint system too. Like, it looks good on that, it looks good on that, it looks good there, but when it's against the silver, I think it looks a little odd. But beyond that, this is a nice Warpaint. This is like another really good Warpaint that I think would be perfect for the game. I approve. Good shit. I will give it saucy. And totally not because I accidentally clicked award instead of favorite. Oops. No, this is a good one. Is it too simple? I think it is. Maybe not. Nah, never mind. Don't change it. Keep it the same. Keep it as is. Keep it as is. It's fine. Don't change it. Don't change it. It's a good one. It's a good one, Pop. You got it. You nailed it. Let's see. I've seen that skin before. Have I seen this one? We have Smooth Shooter. Oh, God. That looks so fucking weird. Ugh. What is that? Ew. Like, the hat looks fine. The hair and the fucking beard look fucking weird, dude. Ugh. It's like it's stapled onto his chin. It looks fake, right? It looks like a fake beard that the spy put on. I don't think that's the angle he was going for. The hair looks really bad, too. Ugh, it sticks out. It's so thick and sticks out so far in the back. Ugh. Like, again, the hat, no. Like, the hat is fine, but the facial hair and the hair look really bad. Also, the shirt's a bit... I mean, is this an item? This is an item. Is this an item set? Item set. Yeah, like, give me the hairless style. Like, hairless without, like, just give us the hat, and that's fine. The shirt's also fine, I think. Maybe not. It looks a little... flat? It looks weird. It looks flat. I assume the tie is paintable, because why not, right? It's not bad, but there's something off about it. What's off on this? I like the shirt a lot more than the hat with the hairstyle, but I just think that the mustache and the hair are really, really bad. Like, and yeah, it's like it's like meant to be sticking out of the mask, which is just yeah, it looks weird. I don't think that looks good. All right, let's see. Casino Con Man. Really, the shirt. This shirt's weird. The shirt looks really weird. Like, it's really flat. The jacket's kind of fine, but the shirt is really throwing me through a loop here. I don't like it. Yeah, the shirt's funky. Yeah, this is the texturing is really bad. The buttons look really shit. Like, the buttons are like really crusty PNGs stapled on top of it. And like compare, like, look how grainy and fuzzy this looks compared to the rest of the Spy's model. And also, like, in these other in-game screenshots. Like, look at this. What is this? It looks so bad. Yeah, this is really poorly done. Like, this was like really rushed out. This is not very good. Needs more time in the oven. Not very good. Let's see. Okay, so we have a map. Unfortunately, I can't really review maps on stream. I'd have to, like, test them and play them. So we'll get back to... So we'll do the same thing. We'll do the same thing that I did last month, where at the end of the stream, send in maps at the end of the stream, and then I'll catalog those, and then we can play test them on Aaron's server whenever we do his TF2 streams. Okay, so hold off on maps until the end of the stream, and someone will probably have to remind me, because I'll likely forget that I gotta look at maps too. So someone remind me at the end, okay? So hold off on maps for now. Let's see. I think I looked at this one before. Did I look at this one last month? Yeah, I looked at this one already. This one's so a comment on this one. This one's very well done, but there's just the one thing I really don't like about this is that like the texture work and the stylization really doesn't fit TF2 all that well. It's way too intricate. Like it's way too detailed. The stylization doesn't really fit the cartoony style of TF2. It looks really cool. I wouldn't even be offended if this was in game, but it's a little too much, right? It's too much for a TF2 skin, right? Like a lot of these detailed parts look really neat and like this is really cool looking, but I think you gotta really simplify that the amount of detail down a little bit. Like in my opinion, I think as detailed as you can get on a skin would be something like high rollers, right? So if we look at high rollers, the smallest details that are on these skins are really the emblems, right? So these emblems are one flat color. Let's see, the rocket launcher's probably actually any of these skins with an emblem probably shows it the best, right? So like this has the smallest details, and the way this works out so well is that it's just a flat color against a really simple texture. So it pops out really well. You can really see those finer details, and that helps that a lot, right? The poker chips, I personally am not a fan of on any of the high rollers rocket launcher. I think it can do without. But the same principles apply here, right? Where you have two flat, simple colors, high enough contrast where you can see those details, right? Same thing for the lady on the front, right? It's a flat color. But then when you come to here, you have, you know, gradients and different shades, and it's like really highly detailed, and it's all layered on top of each other, and it's like, it's just a bit too much for how TF2 textures normally work and how they normally look, right? Like the metal portions of this look really cool. The wrappings look really cool, but I just think the engraved part of it is just, it's really intense. But I still would not be offended if it was in game, right? Like, this one is one of those war paints where it skirts the line, where it's not quite where it needs to be for a TF2 skin. It looks something like a skin from a different game. Yes, I'll probably say that a lot during the stream. Looks like it belongs in a different game. But, it wouldn't be the end of the world if this was put in TF2. In my eyes. Like, I still like it. I still think it's really good, but it's a little too much. It's just a little too much. But I still praise it. I still give it praise. The facepalm. Okay, a taunt. All right. We need some more, you know. No, it's never gonna be added, man. It's never gonna get added. It's too old. Ah, that's a shame. Okay, this is already clever. Let's see how this looks. We gonna get an example here? Let's see how it looks. Okay, I like this because this is actually a taunt. Like you get a kill, like someone fucks up and it's like, "Oh, you fucking idiot." Like it's like an air of exasperation insulting the person that you just killed or did something stupid. This is actually a taunt. And this is a taunt that properly fits in the game. I would like to see more taunts like this instead of like, "Oh, the heavy's gonna drive around a little Tyke's car. We little medic ambulance for the medic. We fun vehicles." Fuck off with those stupid fucking taunts. Give us more taunts like this that are actual taunts. I like these. This is fine. I wish we could get this in game. Sadly, we'll never be in game because it's too old. Yeah, bummer. Yeah, we're like, y'all don't send in a lot of taunts whenever I do these streams. I guess people don't make that many of them. I checked out this one. Yeah, I've seen this one. Like, I'll reiterate again that I think this skin is really fucking cool. I would love to see this in game. Super high quality, really badass. Like, this one, going back to, like, that level of detail comment that I made, like, a lot of the details in this one are fairly chunky. They're big. You know, it kind of matches that painterly style that TF2 has. So all of these textures mesh really nicely with just, like, the overall feel of TF2. And also the colors are very nice. And but even like the smaller details here, right? Like they're still just big enough where it's like, oh, so good. Yeah, I think this is a great skin. I'd love to see it in game, but it'll never be added. Shame. Oh, he updated it. Okay, he updated it. So I mean, hey, dude, it's a good skin. I mean, listen, Listen, what's unfortunate about this one is, yeah, so there's custom wear and dirt. I don't know if this one utilizes any kind of custom groupings or what have you, or tweaking the code associated with texture mappings, but if it does, it will never get added into the game, right? I mean, so you can upvote these really cool skins all you want, but Valve won't pick them because it requires more work for them to get put in the game, and so they'll just completely ignore them in favor of something that is easier to handle and quicker to implement, which is really fucking stupid. But you know, what can you do? It's just unfortunate that Valve ignores good skins like this because it requires a little bit of extra work that they're not willing to afford. Stupid. And if you don't believe me, go watch my recent video, because that's where I pretty much fully explain it. It's really dumb. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. I looked at that Warpaint last time. Did I look at this one? I don't think I looked at this one. Postal camo. Okay. All right, let me go back to that game screenshot because that's really indicative. First thing, bump the contrast a bit. Make the darkers a bit darker and keep the light hues the same. That's like the biggest thing here. Bump the contrast a little bit. I mean, beyond that, pretty good. It's not a beach version of Sand Cannon, because Sand Cannon's like the digi camo. This is like actual like camo, but it's like sand colors. Yeah, I think if the contrast is bumped a little bit to make the darkers a bit darker, then I think this would look really good, because right now the primary texture is a little bit too light, and I think if you darken this darker tan by a little bit, it'll add just enough contrast between the secondary and the tertiary and the sticker to really give it that little bit of extra pop it needs. And then beyond that, I mean, it's actually it's not bad. Like even as is now, wouldn't be offended if this was put in game. I quite like this one. It's pretty good. I approve. This gets my seal of approval, and I like the stickers. I like the stickers. This, you know, it's like the star that's on the reserve shooter. I like it. And also like the TF logo incorporated into a skin where it's not obnoxious and actually looks really good, right? Because the TF logo is just like a target, right? It's a target symbol. And so it makes sense to have a target symbol put onto a military themed skin. So despite the simplicity of it being the TF logo, it's a nice touch. And a lot of other TF2 skins like to shoehorn TF2 logo into them. Like, okay, so no hate towards this one, but oh fuck, what was it called again? Oh, I forget the name of this Warpaint. Shit, what was it called? Fuck, I gotta look it up on Wiki because I can't remember TF2 Warpaint. There are some skins that like shoehorn the TF2 logo into them and they don't look good. They're like a random extra detail that I think looks like shit. Merc Stained is one of them that does this, and I really don't think it's necessary at all. So Merc Stained, where are you? Merc Stained. Yeah, so like you have these random TF logos that are just haphazardly placed on top of the main texture, and it breaks kind of the cohesion with the main texture, and it just looks really bad. I don't like it when people shoehorn logos or stickers or shit like that into a texture. It looks really bad. Whereas skins like this handle it quite nicely. So I really approve handling stickers like this, where they're like a nice embellishment on a weapon and not just a random, whoa, wacky thing, you know? So this is nice. I approve. Good shit. Arthur, I will get to your work in progresses very soon. Okay, they keep getting bumped to the end because they're an image and not a browser, not a browser tab. What if there's more than one of them? See, that kind of goes into like, if there's more than one, then it needs to be properly incorporated into the texture, right, in order for it to look good. So an example of one that handles logo implementation quite well, actually, is Night Owl. So like Night Owl Mark II, no, can I get the main texture? Oh, Warpaint. Yeah, so if you look at like the main texture, you have all of the different class emblems incorporated into a camo texture, right? And they altered the logos to make it look like camo. And so if you're going to have a repeating logo of some kind, you really need to, you know, make it appropriate for the theme or the texture that you're working towards. Otherwise, it just looks like an ugly, flat thing slapped onto a texture just for the sake of having it, rather than it being, per se, a necessary detail, right? So That's a more proper way to handle it. Also, fucking hold on. I hate this. Like they unfortunately they did it here as well. We're like, oh, here's a rare TF2 logo. That is an ugly embellishment. This is what I'm talking about, right? There's no need for this extra TF logo to be here. Yeah, you can get like some decent placements of it to where it looks like a proper embellishment, but the fact it's like a little random thing, like if this was centered more on the barrel, then yeah, it would look good. But the fact it's based off of a random seed and you're more than likely not going to get it, it's going to get cut off, it's going to look weird, it doesn't do it any favors. So I don't think that kind of a sticker is necessary. No, yeah, probably you're right. If there's more stickers that don't have a fixed placement, then you're more likely to get one that looks really shit, right? With a terrible placement. So, yeah, you're exactly right. You are exactly right. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? It's horrible. Wow. Well, we have Babby's first Warpaint. Jesus Christ. So, obviously limited experience with texture work. You have really ugly color palettes. You have brown and purple, which look terrible against each other. You have dark red and brown, which work a little bit nicely, but a bit nicer. But then you have this really ugly silver in between. It's just really, really, yeah. The color palettes are the worst part. They're really, really ugly. Um, the hand-drawn bubbles and stickers, I guess they're meant to be cute, but they're not. It looks really bad, and like the contrast, like these are really bright and fluorescent against rather muted colors, so that also just looks really bad. Like get rid of like, oh Jesus. Ooh, okay, so if you're gonna do, God, how can they fucking fix this mess? Jesus Christ. First thing, get rid of the brown. Like if you're gonna do a like cola is obviously like the soda they were going for. If you're gonna do brown, you need to, pick colors that work nicely with brown. Things that lead more towards neutral are okay, but if you have a really strong red or purple, it looks like look at that. Just it looks like poop. It's really bad. It's oh. Yeah, and get rid of these stickers. Scrap those entirely. They don't do it any favors. If you're gonna incorporate like a logo or something, it would be better if it was like a fixed sticker. That would make it look a lot better instead of it being this random ugly embellishment that does nothing. And why is it doubled up? There's no need for it to be doubled. It's just more really ugly, harsh details that just make it busier and not very good. Oh wait, there's multiple. Yeah, you don't need to do this. Get rid of those entirely. It's okay to have a single color texture so long it has like the gradient and painterly elements to it, then it's fine. The bottle cap pattern really needs work. If you're gonna do like, why is it random? Why are the lengths random? That looks really bad. And so you're yeah, because of the lengths are random, or it's like this wavy pattern. You're gonna get really ugly seams because of this. It should be a seamless texture. I wouldn't do this either. Bump the contrast on the lines. I would scrap the brown entirely and go for like team colored soda or do black. Black would look better. Darken these, increase the contrast on the stripes. So you can actually like see the edges of like the bottle cap, which is what I assume what you're going for here. Get rid of the stickers. I would look at color palette. I would experiment with color palettes a bit. Like this, like I'm covering up the purple and the red with my hands right now, and just looking at the brown with the lighter tones, it's fine. And then I'm covering up the brown with my hands. The team colored elements also play nicely-ish with. Okay, actually the silver's pretty shit. Purple's fine. I would tinge this to be red and not silver. And honestly, just use blue. It doesn't need to be purple. Use blue. Purple is a little funky. It works on some skins like Saccharine Striped, but it really needs stronger elements to help balance it out. I mean, fuck, dude. Experiment with like muted versions of the bonk colors, right? That might help a little bit, but as it is right now, this is really bad and it needs a lot of work. Really, it needs serious improvements on these bubbles. I like hmm. Like you could make a bubble texture, right? You can try making a bubble texture instead of doing like simple like doodles of bubbles, right? And like the doodle style doesn't really work for TF2 because it's literally incorporating someone's own cartoony style into a heavily cartoony stylized game. And that juxtaposition of these two different styles looks really bad. And that's why, like, pixel art looks bad in TF2. It's why, like, these other, like, as I've seen, like, Mickey Mouse style skins and shit and other, like the cartoon comic book shotgun, while a cool idea, is a different style that doesn't fit TF2, and so it just doesn't fit. Can I send you skin concepts I made? Yes, you can. Just upload them to, like, Imgur or something and send an Imgur link in the chat, and then I can look at them. Tried giving my 2 cents on this one. Thicker and texture doesn't mean can be a great skin. Robot hustled. Yeah, the sticker's really bad. Sticker is pretty bad. It's really... Yeah, if they're gonna use this kind of a sticker, then it needs to be one where it has a fixed position. The fact, like, that's the problem with this one. Like, the sticker works just fine. It looks perfectly fine on the texture itself. The problem is, just like the previous argument we were having, is where you have random orientations of these stickers, and it looks really bad on most seeds. So you need, like, an optimum placement. Otherwise, it's gonna be cut off, and it looks really ugly on most seeds. So if you're gonna have a single embellishment like this, right, just like one dot in the middle of it, then I think it needs to be a fixed sticker in order for it to, like, really look good and work properly. So they'll have to use a different base in order to make that happen, like Park Pigmented or something. But I think it's more than worth doing because it would look really good. I like the idea, but it's too monotone, needs a different color or two. I kind of agree with that. Like, because, like, some of these have this, like, the Rescue Ranger has, like, has more of this darker texture on it, which looks really good. But then I'm looking at the Revolver. Is this a lighting problem? I think this might be a lighting problem because, like, some of these screenshots make the textures look really dark and have, like, a high amount of contrast. But then I look at this one and then it's really bright. I think this is a lighting problem because the shades are really inconsistent between all of his in-game screenshots. So it's hard to say. Oh no, I like the red. I like the red. I think the red looks... I think what they could do, actually, is the blue... yeah, I agree. The blue does look better because the blue is a bit stronger. Like, it's a stronger, more blue hue. So what they could do to improve this one is make it a stronger, like a slightly stronger red hue. Like, darker, like, give it more red, right? It's a little too gray, brown, give it more red. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Not so much undersaturated, but, like, push it more towards the red. It uses exposed metal. That hue is dependent on the weapon albedo. Ah, okay. There's the problem. So you're going to have a lot of inconsistencies with the brightness of the textures for that reason. So there you go. Yeah, so because they use that base, it's going to be pretty hit or miss. But, I mean, concept-wise, it's really good. Like, this Warpaint is, like, 80% of the way there. Like, 80%, like, even if they put it in-game as it is now, I wouldn't be offended. But there are some serious problems. I guess issues. There are things that need to be fixed with this one. So I would tweak the red to be more red. And I would try... It's hard to do, I know. I would try to maybe use a different Warpaint base so you can have a fixed position for the light bulb element. It's not even a sticker. It's actually incorporated quite nicely into the pattern. So it's not a sticker at all. Yeah, I would try to work for a fixed position on that. And now that I look at it, I would thicken the lines. I would thicken the lines between the plates a little bit because these lines are a little bit too thin. I would widen. I would actually double the width. I would double the width on those, and yeah, I'd keep the bolts the same, maybe, or maybe make the bolts a little bit bigger because, like, I'm looking at the bolts like they're on the weapon models, and then the bolts on this texture, it's really small. Then again, issues with random scaling, but I think if you thicken the lines a bit, that might help it out a little bit more too. But again, this one's like 80% of the way there. I think it's really good. It just needs a few more tweaks, and then it's like perfect, right? Then it's perfect. Just it needs a few more things. Hopefully this guy sees this and gets some feedback. But yeah, it's good. Good shit. A little more time, and it's perfect. I don't know what the base is, unfortunately. You can't use Imgur in your region? That's fucking weird. If do you have me on Discord? I don't know if you have me on Discord or not. Also, I totally forgot to acknowledge Coyote subscribing. Thank you. How am I doing? I'm doing okay. I'm totally sorry I didn't fucking, I was like in the midst of talking. I really do apologize for that. Thank you for subbing. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing good too. Yeah, hope it's all good. Let's see. Seen that one. Hmm. Hmm. The blood is a little too much. I think I like the idea of the custom wear going to blood. It's just because this one suffers from the same problem as Ghoul Blaster, where if you get battle scarred, it's really fucking green, dude. Like, yeah, like you get like minimal wear or field tested, you're in like the Goldilocks zone for like how much of that exposed where you want. As soon as you get the battle scarred, holy fuck, it's so green. This one also suffers from the same problem where if you're looking at a battle scarred version of this, it's really it's a lot of blood. It's a lot of red. So I feel, do they use the same dirt and burn marks or do they use a custom red one as well? I can't really tell. It looks like they do. So, hmm. Hmm. Alternatively, what they could do is instead of having the custom wear underneath all of the textures, maybe have it just underneath like, is this shark skin or is this like metal? It looks like shark skin. Yeah, that's what I think this is meant to be, shark skin. Yeah. So if you have it like just underneath the shark skin texture and then keep the metal, which I'm assuming is like meant to be a sign or like another part of the shark's body, then if you don't let that get bloody with wear, then I think that would help give it a little bit of the balance it needs. But yeah, I think the custom wear is really fucking intense, and I mean, it's not the worst thing. Let's be honest. It's not the worst thing. It still looks really cool, and the red is muted enough to where even if it was put in the game as is, it wouldn't be like the worst fucking thing. I don't know. I think it needs to be toned down a little bit. Like the color itself is fine. The underlying texture is fine. I just think it gets to be too much, right? And someone said, look at the flamethrower on Ghoul Blaster. Yeah, it's really bad. Like, my God, it's like a fucking salad. Oh shit. Look at this. Holy shit. Like imagine that but red, right? For the shark skin. Oh my God. That is so fucking green. Woo. Like field tested is like it's like perfect or even like I have a minimal wear medigun, dude. It looks really cool. Like that, like this. Oh, hello. Like that to me is like just enough, right? That's just enough of the custom wear on there to make it look really good, but you get into battle scarred territory and holy fuck. You know what? I'll say yeah. I'll favorite it too. Because like it's not like fluorescent lime green. It's therefore a better custom wear than Ghoul Blaster is for that reason, because man, that shit's bright. I like it. I think you know what they could do? They could maybe stylize this a little bit like a portal, like the portal, you know, the aperture style, you know. I think that'd be a cute little embellishment to kind of like steer this style more towards like TF2, you know. Yes, you can send pictures through Steam in Steam chat. So if you have me on Steam, you can send them there. So feel free. Held a message for reason, race, ethnicity, or religion. The comment in question, what's my opinion on model, I'm assuming to be reskins, as opposed to texture skins? I don't like model reskins, and thank God there aren't too many of them in game, because one of the most important aspects of TF2's heavy stylization is that you have maintenance of silhouettes, right? And not just class silhouette, but also weapon silhouette, right? So like the instant you look at a heavy, just based off of his outline alone, you know, hey, it's a heavy, and you can immediately recognize what weapon he's holding, right? If it's the Brass Beast, if it's the Tomislav, if it's the minigun, or if it's the Hulong Heater, right? You can immediately recognize that. And that applies for like 99.9% of weapons in TF2. It's an incredibly clever design choice that really helps with the overall flow of the game, right? It helps with, you know, in team fights and whether or not you can choose to engage and all that stuff, and like being able to recognize whether or not something is friend or foe or threat or not a threat, that whole thing, right? It's very important. Weapon remodels like the Postal Pummeler or the Iron Curtain or the 3-rune blade, all of these things, right? I don't like them because they change the weapon silhouette, so it fucks with the weapon recognition. However, thank God Valve adds them very, very rarely, and for the most, and because there are so few of them in the midst of all of the rest of TF2's weapons, right? It's not that hard to incorporate that extra, oh, you know, this is the reskin of this weapon, therefore it has these stats, right? Had they gone the angle of weapon remodels instead of weapon skins, where there's like hundreds and hundreds of different weapon remodels, then there would be a problem because you'd have no way of being able to identify what someone's using, right? So thankfully they kept weapon remodels very few in number, whereas weapon skins, yes, they do fuck with team recognition, and because Valve keeps picking the worst fucking Warpaints possible, they fuck with the art style of the game, but they at least are better than weapon remodels in my eyes, because they don't fuck with the silhouette, and so you can still recognize what they are immediately at a glance. So that's my important. That's my thing. So let's see. Next. Oh, this is really bad. This is really bad. Oh shit. The color palette is really atrocious, super saturated, no business being in the game at all. This is really bad. Oh god, what else is this guy's? Yeah, this is this guy. This is this guy's first fucking Warpaint. It's really bad. So right away you have flat white, which is the biggest problem with this is the flat fucking white. Do not incorporate flat white into anything for TF2 because that is a color that does not exist in the fucking game, and it sticks out like a sore thumb, and it's fucking ugly and does not belong. No flat black, no flat white. You have to incorporate that painterly style. You have to make it darker. You got to get those darker gradients in there to help break it up and make it look like a TF2 texture if you're going to use a solid color. That is an absolute necessity in my eyes. Do not use flat white. Worst thing about this. Second problem, you have the hypersaturated tertiary dark colors that just look really bad against the really fluorescent gradient colors, again, colors that have no business being in the game at all. The water texture is okay. It's very reminiscent of like Shell Shocker and Pink Elephant and the current event. That kind of a texture can work, but you really gotta fucking manhandle it in order for it to fit inside of TF2's aesthetic. Like, the only skin, I mean, the only, like, we have 2 skins in game that have water, or 3, really, because the Aquamarine is also an example. So, like, the Aquamarine emulates water, but it's really muted. You don't have these harsh, jagged lines cutting through that emulate waves. It looks like a slightly disturbed water surface, but it's colored and textured to look like a TF2 texture, right? So it fits in the game. This is an ugly skin. I will admit that. I'm not a fan of this one. But, and then let's say you go to something like the liquid asset, right? The liquid asset handles water textures by doing wider stripes with more muted colors and handling a gradient by splitting it up into different waves. So this more readily resembles kind of like the painter style. It meshes more readily with TF2, you know, texture work. The colors are, yes, fairly bright. They don't really mesh too strongly, but they're not the worst offenders by any means, so it still gets a pass. And then you have something like Croc Dusted. Croc Dusted, where are you? Yeah, Croc Dusted's water texture is mostly just, I mean, it's got the crocodiles on top, which is fucking ugly. I hate this skin, by the way. But the water texture is, again, fairly muted, right? It's a fairly muted watercolor, and you do have these same lines cutting through, but they're not these big chunky, solid white things that just look really ugly, right? So if you're gonna work on a water texture, you gotta make it look like TF2 water, right? You can't just do a cartoony wave thing and slap it on there and call it a day. It's not gonna cut it. Biggest problem with this are the colors. Obviously, rework the color palettes, make it more readily, fitting of TF2 style, and then it's already off on a better track. But this is like a major no thank you. It's really bad. It does not belong in the game. Simple as that. Yeah, and the stripes, yeah, you make up a good point. The stripes of the liquid acid makes the gradient very easy on the eyes compared to that one where it's just whoa, it's really in your face. It's a little too much. I can't believe these workshop terrorists force Gabe Newell at gunpoint to add the Beat Boy and Private Maggot Puncher. They need to be stopped immediately. And Valve just is really bad at picking items. I hope they get their shit together, but time will tell. This is the guy that does AI shit. It is. Yeah, this guy does like AI. This guy does like AI shit, stock image shit. He does, he makes obvious bait war paints in the form of a pride flag. I mean, this just screams, give me workshop points. Give me Steam points, please. So, yeah, this is just an automatic downvote for me because this guy has like the worst fucking practices all over the workshop. Uses stock images, uses stock textures, likely uses AI shit. So, hard pass on anything that guy does. Let's see. Next, I feel like you'd like this unusual look. Okay, clever. Clever, funny Ava reference, haha. I mean... You didn't see that, right? You didn't see that. I mean, yeah, it's a bit gaudy. It's a little much. It doesn't really fit in the game, but Valve's never gonna fucking pick this, so... And also, religious iconography. Some of it is in TF2. It doesn't belong in the game, so actually, yeah, I'll be consistent and I'll say no. Religious iconography doesn't belong in TF2 in any capacity, even if it's like a harmless reference to something else, or it's like on the Exorcist costume pieces for Spy or whatever. But I don't think it belongs in the game, honestly. It's cool. I like Ava, but it's not appropriate. It's also like the same like hyper fluorescent green and blue and red colors and just like that have completely taken over the unusual effect side of the workshop where it's like we can only use these 4 neon colors and nothing else. Stop it! Fuck! Go back to how unusual effects used to be. They looked really good. I'm gonna go back off stream and click yes. No. Road Warrior. Okay. Road Warrior. I like, dude, can you give us some like in-game screenshots? That'd be great. Give us some in-game screenshots. That would help a lot to see how this actually looks against everything in TF2. It's not bad. Honestly, it's not bad. It's the stripe looks weird. This looks weird. Like what's going on with this texture? Yeah, I think the stripe's okay, but the primary texture looks funky. Like what's going on? I don't know. It's the unthemed but still very exciting summer situated themed collection. I mean, I don't like this looks weird. Like this stone texture looks looks fuzzy. It's like it's not quite the right style. Is the right style? Looks like it's like a blurry photograph. It looks like a blurry photograph. It's not quite right. Like it's meant to be pavement, but you didn't make pavement. You made a really fuzzy like stone texture. So I think you dropped the ball a little bit there. You got to probably make it look like, pavement, and that's a good first step. And then it looks like you just used the same texture here and here, but did color swaps on it, so that doesn't help. and then there shouldn't be opacity over this. Like, you can have like the same road texture, but make that actually a different color stripe, and then have the pavement texture underneath it, or the pavement color on either side of the stripe. That would be fine. I would add dashes to make it look like an actual, like, you know, like a full road line. The full line, yeah, roads do that, but like I think a dash line would give it a little bit more detail that this kind of desperately needs. And then I would redo the pavement texture. I would redo, like, is this meant to be wood? Because this doesn't look like wood. Or is it meant to be dirt? Because it doesn't look like wood or dirt or leather. It just looks really shit. Yeah, I think, yeah, the texture work on this one needs a little more care and attention, because it does not look like a road. It looks really fuzzy and blurry and just not all that great. And the brown doesn't do anything for me, and like the road stripe, I think it needs to be like dashed. And if you make this like an actual pavement texture, it would look good. Like, yeah, make it look like asphalt roads. Yeah, make it look like asphalt road, and then it's probably better. Secondary texture is a lighter version of the primary. Yeah, I figured. So yeah, it's not very good. It's pretty mediocre. Upload them on my Steam profile as artwork. Do I have you on Steam? I don't know if I have you on. Oh, there you are. You added me. Have them on your profile as artwork. Artwork. Let's take a look. So we have concepts, okay? So we have skin concepts for TF2. We have corn. Hold on, let me move my. So we have corn. All right, we got corn. I'm. Someone did this for a I think a sniper rifle, and it kind of worked. I don't know if it would work too well for a rocket launcher. The corn kernels missing with wear is a cute detail. I like that. I would make the barrel part corn. I would do the husk on the back. I would keep that, and I would keep the whatever you call the funnel in the back. I would keep that as a metal texture. I would keep this as a metal texture, and then I don't know what you do for the body, but I would put the corn up here and maybe make that white instead. Like reverse your textures here. Put the corn here, put the white here. Reverse your textures, and then make the handles the same metal here. That might look a little bit better, because where you have the corn cobs placed now, it looks a little funky. I think if you make these, once these textures are like made, it might be overall too busy. So I would try to limit the usage of the corn texture into this small area of the weapon model. Like, it's going to be a UV skin, obviously. So I think that would be probably more acceptable in my eyes. I like the revolver. I like the revolver idea. I like it when skin. Okay, so I was having a discussion with someone the other day, or yesterday even. So let me find this DM with this guy, right? So I was having a discussion. I'll get back to your concepts in a minute. So where's guy? There you are. Okay, so I was having a conversation with this guy, right? And so he got in contact with me because he was curious as to whether or not it would be a good idea to get back to making items for TF2. Like, he just came back to the game and wanted to, like, you know, make something for the game. And he made this a long fucking time ago. This is like in 2012, I think. Yeah, 2012. So he made this item a long time ago for TF2, and it's soldiers' homemade, you know, victory medals that he made for himself. Like it says in his fucking character bio on the website. Like, I'm shocked that no one else, or like, I haven't seen any. Like, I haven't seen any more of this kind of a concept for the soldier. He literally makes his own medals because he showed up to the war late, right? That's like the whole gimmick joke with him, right? And this guy made this idea years ago, and like no one else does it. And like we were having this conversation where there's a lot of untapped potential for TF2 items, because for whatever reason, a lot of people don't like referencing the game. A lot of people don't like referencing stuff that's already in the game or associated with the characters when it comes to making TF2 items. They're like lore items, right? No one does this. I don't understand why no one does this. There's so much potential with that angle alone, right? And when you're doing skin concepts like this is tapping into that, right? Because there's so much potential just inside of the game alone for referencing things, right? And like, I'm gonna keep going back to Pamp and slobbing his knob because he does this a lot. Pamp makes a fuckload of skins that reference stuff in the game, and they look really good. And because you're referencing something in the game, it already fits in the game, and it meshes really nicely. And then you can put your own spin on it, right? Because you have like this limitation of, oh, okay, I'm gonna reference this thing in the game, so I'm limited by like what I can do with the colors and the design elements. But because you have these limitations, you can do all sorts of creative shit and just like and do a whole bunch of awesome stuff, man. And no one does, or I shouldn't say no, but like so few people do that. Instead, we get people making like fucking, let me close this tab and get back to here. Like, you get people making shit like, I don't know, like fucking, what is this? You get people making shit like this. Why? Why is Scout a chef now? He doesn't need to be a fucking chef. It's like, you get shit like this? What is this? Stop it. Like again, there's so, my god, what the fuck is this helmet? There's so much crap. There's so much potential just in like stuff being like just referencing the game itself, and no one does that. Why? They instead make a whole bunch of garbage like this, dude. What is this? Fuck off. It's so bad. Ugh. That, and like, and this guy and I kind of like come to the conclusion, like, it's really fucking depressing that no one does this. It's a huge fucking bummer, man. Really, it's a bummer. I wish more people did shit like this. Anyways, did I close your concepts? No, it was on my Steam tab. Anyways, concepts. I like the revolver. I like the idea. I would put the emblem where the emblem for the top shelf revolver is, so it would be a little bit bigger. So top shelf revolver. So instead of it being here, I would put it here. It's not that much bigger, but it's just big enough where that little embellishment would be a lot more noticeable for that one. So I would put it there instead, and not like where this hole is. What's this supposed to be? What's the brown one? You'll have to elaborate. Moneybag skin. Okay, so you could do, so the concept is rough. That's an iffy one, because if you're doing money, like coins, that's a lot of small details kind of layered on top of each other, where it would kind of look like a sticker bomb war paint, and I don't think those look very good. Like, an example of one that does that is, Bankrolled is the name. So Bankroll does this, and so you have like the layering of the dollar bills, and it can be a bit too busy. And I mean, it's not terrible, but I think it's pretty fucking ugly, in my opinion. It's a little too much. So I don't know if I would go the angle of randomly distributed coins, but what you could do instead, now that I think about it, can I get to my own favorites on the workshop? Can I do that? I don't know if I can do that. Can I see my own favorites? Browse. Favorites, there we go. Okay, cool. Let's see. Where is this one item? Hold on, let me just actually workshop page. That'll just improve my chances of finding it quickly. So an idea that you could do instead of randomly, instead of randomly placed coins, is you could have coins lined up like on their side like this, because like this Warpaint does it with poker chips, so you could do that instead, where you have the coins kind of like aligned as if though they're in like a coin roll or something like that shotgun we looked at earlier. So yeah, you can have the coins organized like that, so it's a bit more orderly and not so haphazard and random like a sticker bomb texture to make it look really ugly and busy. So you could do that with the coins instead, but then you would have to put them on a different part of the weapon model, like up on the barrel or something like that. So that's an option. I'm not a fan of the random assortment of coins. I don't think that would look very good. But then the secondary and the tertiary would be like the bag, and then I guess metal of some kind. I'm not sure. But I think maybe tweaking that concept to avoid randomly distributed coins would be a little bit better. Hockey stick. I like the idea. I like the okay, and I like the color placements that you have. I think this is a great idea. This is a good one. I say go. I think this is your best one, and this is your second best on this page. I would go forward with doing like getting a like a screenshot of the weapon and then taking that into Photoshop and then like doing a bit more of a detailed drawing of this concept, because I like this one a lot. It has a lot of potential. I would go with this one on this page. See next. Okay, so there's your corn one again. Okay, so here you go. Here we go. This guy's referencing shit in the game. So this is like concept art, and then hey, you can have it reference like a shipping container from there. That's great. That's another great idea. That's a good one. Yeah, you can have like, you know, the metal plating here, and then you can have like the solid sheet metal that's just orange, and then perhaps you could get like a logo or like a fixed position sticker on there. That would look really cool on the orange texture to help break it up. You know, help break it up and not just be solid orange, you know. Getting incorporating a sticker on there would be really cool. Forged. I'm assuming this is meant to be like roof tiles. Okay, so maybe you should do like the slats, because like this texture is used on the rooftop Wrangler, because I mean, hence the name rooftop Wrangler, right? So rooftop Wrangler. So see, this one uses the metal slats that you see on Forge. So maybe you could go for something like not necessarily the same texture, but you could go for like roof slats like this, and then maybe tweak the colors a bit. So it's like, so it's darker like this. So you get like that nice, strong, punchier contrast with the metal that's here, and then like the team colored like forge part of it, right? And then and then you have like this bright element that I guess is like the forge flames. That's a neat idea. Maybe you can do that. And then here's your revolver again. Let's see. And then we have this wood chipper. Okay, I've seen concepts like it. So there's a lumberjack minigun on the workshop that pretty much does this exact same idea, where you have wood on the body of the skin, and then and then you have like lumberjack plaid, like a plaid shirt on other elements of the gun. I think was it Ceramic Manor that did that one, or am I getting that wrong? I might be getting it wrong. I like this concept. I think it's cool. I think I would avoid the silver. I think the black and the yellow and the wood are enough. Let me see if I can find that one that I favorited, because I think I favorited that one too. Just so I can show you. Hold on. Because I know for a fact. Here we go. Yeah, it was Ceramic Manor. So Ceramic Manor did this one. Oh, that was the plaid one. Where's the minigun one he did? Hold on, I'll find it. Okay, so my brain accidentally mixed those two skins together. Where's the fucking minigun he did? There it is. Lumberjack minigun. Yeah, see, here you go. So, similar concept to what you had. Except he did like plaid from the plaid pod shot around there and like muted down the colors a bit so it looks more like cloth. So, that's neat. Yeah, the guy who concepted this stuff's in here. And the guy who did this is fucking where are you, guy? Message. Send a message and identify yourself as the guy who's working on these concepts. But yeah, see, so someone's worked this concept before, and if you could like expand that into multiple weapon models, that has a lot of potential too, and I think it's a good idea. But you notice what Ceramic Manor did here is there's not a super strong contrast element here. So like if you had incorporated that brighter silver element, it would have been too much, right? So instead of a silver element, maybe you could do like a lighter, another wood color, like a woody color, or like another gray to go with the darker color, instead of having like a nice bright silvery thing, which I think is putting a little too much in there. Like that's too much. Like if you have a more muted color in there, then I think it'd be fucking perfect. Let's see. Then I'm assuming this is more of it here. Yeah, okay, so you got your colors here. I would avoid using the silver. I would avoid using the silver. I would not use what I'm assuming is like it's close to like the salmon injustice. Mute this one a lot. To where it's like a lighter brown. And then I actually like the idea of team coloring this, but at the same time, it might work a bit more nicely in your favor if you just keep this as like a muted yellow or orange secondary. I think we need more team colored skins in game, don't get me wrong, but if you don't want to step on Ceramic's toes too much, then maybe you should go for just single color, you know. I mean, people make similar stuff on the workshop all the time, but I don't know if you're concerned about that sort of thing or not. But yeah, or if you want to go gung-ho with making a team color one, then fuck it, why not, right? Because then you're also doing it for multiple weapon models, and I think that'd be good. You have like the Binksy logo there. if you stylize that right, then I think that could also look very good. I don't think this one needs custom wear. I think if you incorporate custom wear into this one beyond like slightly lighter wood scratches, then it would look all like way too busy. I would not have rust on this. I would just have it do like a simple traditional wear, because you don't want to incorporate, like, this is already too many colors, right? Having the oil cut, like 3 custom wears with 4 different textures, that's a lot. At most, you want 4 textures with 1 custom wear. If you go beyond that, then the skin gets really fucking busy and it gets ugly. So you want to simplify that down a little bit. Yeah. So yes, these are all really cool concepts, and a lot of these have potential. My least favorite's the corn, I will admit. I don't like the corn one that much. I don't think it would look very good on the rocket launcher. Perhaps going for a different weapon model is a smarter idea. Shotgun, perhaps, because that's more like a corn cob, right? Someone did a sniper rifle, so why not the shotgun? Or, I mean, even like the minigun, right? You could do that and have like the corn cob spinning, right? Because like people like spin the corn as they eat it. That's a cool idea. Not to toot my own horn, but that might be a cool idea. You could try it. Yeah. Yeah, these are cool concepts. I like them. I lied. The money one is my least favorite. You would need to do some heavy tweaks on that one. Start with this one. I think it's cool, and I think the wood chipper one also has a lot of potential. The container one's really cool. Do that one. Forged needs some tweaking to kind of figure out what you want to do with this texture. The revolver's nice too. So, yes, awesome. Moving on. Too many tabs. Let's see. TF2 comic NG. I mean, yeah, perfect. Like that's kind of what we would need. Like I like referencing the comics and putting that sort of shit in the game. Fuck yeah, do it. I think it's fine. Like, is it an item set? We don't no to the tracksuit, but yes to the other elements that are from the comic. So yeah, like shit like this that references the own like the game itself is like perfect. So good shit. Okay. Brief pause. I really need to take a piss. I'll be back in just a second, so bear with me. Let me like put on like not spooky music. Alright, I'll be back in just a moment. Sorry, muted. I was making some tea. Sorry. I needed to make some tea, and I also got some espresso beans. I'm taking a quick pause and giving my throat a break here for a second. You guys like chocolate covered espresso beans? I love these things, man. It's like my favorite candy. It's technically candy. It's like chocolate covered raisin. These are fucking good. You gotta respond to a text, just a second. Uno momento. Coffee. We here at Zesty Stream like big titties and bigger titties. Amen, brother. We are men. We are men, and we like fat fucking tits. That's how it be. Very intense music. I need like relaxing Metroid music. Give me the relaxing Metroid music. There we go. Perfect. No, I don't want to do the lo-fi because it'll get copyright striked if I put it on YouTube. Or when I do put it on YouTube, it'll get copyright striked, so I don't want to do lo-fi. I can still do video game music though. Dude. I love... So, I'll get back to the workshop shit in a minute. I'm just taking a quick break. So, I love Metroid Prime 2 so much more. And, like, I love the environments more. Except Sanctuary Fortress and Prime 1's really fucking cool. Arthur, don't worry. The concept guy, he added me on Steam. So, I'll just accept his invite. So I have him on Steam now. So he's there. Might have a trade offer. We'll gift wrap a frickin' 3rd degree. Will do. I'll do it later though. Okay. Let's do it. Where were we? How does it feel to be the unofficial art director for TF2 now? Well, someone's got to do it. Remember from a few streams ago, you said no one is doing Scout in baseball outfits. Someone did. Let's take a look. Okay. I mean, honestly, it's about fucking time someone made a baseball outfit for Scout. But, I think they need to, like... it's too bright. Oh my god, yeah. Look at that in game, dude. Like, look how little of the dark blue there is on the Scout. And also because his pants are fucked up in game, it'd be really hard to tell at a glance, like in the middle of a team fight, what fucking team this Scout is on. If he doesn't have a different hat on, right? If he doesn't have like a team colored hat on, it would be hard even with this team colored hat. It's way too much white. It's way too much white. Like, I think, God, what would you do? I think you'd have to invert the colors. Like, make the stripes white and then the shirt, the team color. That would look better. Didn't they fix the pants? Did they? I don't know if they did. But even if they did, it's still a slight team hue difference. It's not strong enough. So I think, and also it's paintable, and also yes, it's paintable. Team recognition, ladies and gentlemen, will be a serious problem with this item. Yeah, and they need to invert the colors, and they need to not make this paintable. Sorry. Like if you're gonna change If you're gonna change this much color on the default weapon model, on the default player model, you should not make your cosmetic paintable, because that heavily fucks with team recognition. You don't want that to happen. I mean, the concept is great, but I think it's got the glaring flaw of having way too much white in my eyes. Like, just having the sleeves and the brim on the hat is not gonna be enough. And at a glance, it's not gonna be enough. Yeah, if they, and maybe even if they like thickened the lines a little bit, that would help too. And yeah, I just think it's too much. It's too bright. It's too bright. It's not enough of the actual team color to really, even the tinge of the light blue to like the light red is still not strong enough. It sucks too, because there's like, it's hard to get like a middle ground to make it actually look like a baseball jersey, right? So like if you do fucking, I don't know, baseball jersey. I spelled jersey wrong. Okay, see, you know what you could do? You can do something like that, where you have a stronger team color, you have a stronger gradient, so it goes from like white down to the darker team color to give it more of that. You could do a team colored jersey like this, actually, where it's team colored and the small elements are just white. That would also work quite nicely, you know? Like it doesn't have to be white, I think. You can get away with it. You can get away with making it team colored, I think, like with darker elements, because I think this is. Sorry, even though it's nice to finally see some more baseball items for Scout on the workshop, I think the fact it's white is not a good thing, and it shouldn't be put in the game for that reason. It changes too much. Changes too much. Oh, my water is done boiling. Hold on. Okay. Moving on. Okay, let me get to Arthur's items, because it's probably getting late for him and he probably wants me to look at these. Okay, so we have like a heavy set. He's like a, what is this meant to be? Like a, is he like a gunsmith? Like he's fixing guns, he's polishing weapons or something like that? Looks like that. He's got like bullets in his pouch and all that jazz. So it looks like he's like a gunsmith, fixing guns and shit. He's got like a bifocal thing. Like, you know, see small elements of a weapon. Yeah. This is good. I like this. This is pretty decent. Like you would expect Heavy to probably don the proper equipment when cleaning Sasha, right? So this is what he would be wearing to clean the gun. I like this. This is pretty good. I'm a fan. Like this, we already have like the hard counter, but it's, you know, fluorescent green, like mint green. So having this, I think, would be nice as well, to like give us an option that isn't the hard counter. So yeah, this is a nice item cut. I like this set. This is cool. I think this is pretty good, actually. I'd like to see this made in game. It'd be sweet. So here's your Tim's concept. I first of all don't think it should be all class. I don't think that's appropriate. I think it's fine for, probably fine for Scout, Soldier, and Pyro, and Demo, and Heavy, Engineer. Actually, I think it just looks weird on the Medic and Spy. Yeah, it looks weird on Medic, Sniper, Spy. I think all of the rest of these, it's fine, but these three looks kind of weird. Like having these giant chunky shoes on Spy's feet, that looks kind of funky. Same for Sniper. He has his boots, and then it might work for him, but he's got like the 2-4 tooth kickers I think he can wear. Those are okay, but I think this... actually, no, it might work for Sniper. Medic would look fucking weird, so I think it shouldn't be for Medic or Spy. I think it's fine. And Scout, too. It might look funky on Scout, because he's so fucking small. But fine for Soldier and Pyro and Demo and Heavy and Engie and maybe Sniper. But Scout, Medic, Spy, maybe not. Also, please tell me, I don't want pink shoes. I don't want to see lime green and pink shoes in the fucking game, dude. I really don't. I don't want to see that. Can we do that? Does everything have to be paintable? Does everything have to be fucking paintable, please? And just, can we have some cosmetics that don't have a paint region for once? I would love that, man. Just like, not every fucking hat is paintable, and they don't all need to be paintable. fucking stop it. Like, it's fine, it works, just, I don't want to see pink fucking shoes. I don't want to see pink fucking shoes. Okay, so this one I remember you working on before, Arthur, trying to kind of get a good idea as to how this could work. Because other people have tried getting a like a hazard, safety vest kind of cosmetic for the engineer, and the only problem with doing that is that it recolors half his fucking player model to yellow, which really fucks with team recognition, and you really shouldn't be recoloring half of a player model anyway away from what its original colors are. That's usually a sign of a pretty bad fucking cosmetic, and cosmetics that do that tend to look like shit. Like the smoking jacket for Spy, that's like way too saturated, looks like garbage. So this one really skirts the line in my eyes. I think you have incorporated just enough team color to get it to pass. Yeah, I think the saving grace for this one is the fact you've colored the lower part of the vest to be team colored. That helps it a lot. But it still feels like a lot. It still feels like a lot to me. I think it's pushing it a little bit too far. Because you have the silver, and then you have his gloves, and the element on the boots, and like there's still enough team colored element in there, but what your eye immediately gravitates to first is not the team colored part, which is really big. Yeah, slight orange and yellow tinge, but it's not enough, and I think it's too much for the color. And yeah, there's also something to be said about the details. It's a little bit too much too. You got the stripes and the pocket and the badge and the other glove, and yeah, it's it's a little detail heavy. Like, honestly, you could axe the stripes entirely and then it would look better, because you also have like silver stripes, which is adding yet another color on top of his player model, which would probably be too much. I don't know, the more I think about it, the less of a fan I am on this one, primarily because you're recoloring so much of his player model, man. It's too much, I think. And I understand it's hard to strike a balance, but honestly, concepts can just be a dud. They don't have to work. You don't have to make them work. Sometimes concepts just aren't workable or possible. They could be, but I've yet to see someone like really be successful with getting a visibility vest correct, right? This is the one I've seen that gets the closest, but it still treads the line. It still treads the line a little. But here's the thing, Arthur. He only has one glove, right? Engineers just got one fucking glove, not two, and then you incorporate more silver stripes on top of that, right? It's too much detail. It's too much detail. I don't know. I think this one does cross. Yeah, it skirts the line, and it does cross it a little bit. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it'll look better once it's done, but I have my doubts. I have my doubts. Maybe once it's done, it'll, yeah, we'll see. Cute Suit also gives NG2 gloves, but it's still just like an additional embellishment, while the rest of him remains the same color, right? Still red or blue, so that's still fine, right? Whereas that, all yellow or orange. All right, let's see. Cattle coat? Cattle coat. So the engineer is Naruto now? First thing I think about is, why are we making the engineer look like a Naruto character? I'm gonna say no to this. I really don't like... This is trying to be 3 different cosmetics in one. So we have a Naruto coat, then we have like an engineer, like an undershirt and a handkerchief that looks fine, but then the coat on top of it just looks like not really appropriate for the engineer, and you have like you have 1, 2, 3, 4 different colors all on the same upper half of the player model. It's too much. Yeah, it's too, not a fan. I don't think it's appropriate. And also, you can paint it, because why the fuck not? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, not a fan of this one. I don't think it's appropriate. Doesn't look very good. Not a fan. Early work in progress. Oh shit. Oof. Too much. Too much. Way, way too much. Hat is way too big. It's a really big embellishment on the... Yeah, dude, you gotta really tone it down. Really tone that down. TF2 does not have these massive embellishments on player models, dude. You gotta really, really tone that down. Hat, make it smaller. You can, you know, the askew style, fine. Make the hat smaller. The team colored glasses are fine, but like I like this. No. Don't do the fur. Like do this, right? That looks fine. And make the hat smaller. Yeah. Yeah, make the hat smaller. That's like, you know, that's like Barbosa, you know. I'll get you a hat. Really big one, you know. That too far. But like, okay, we have a pimp hat for the demo man that is half the size of this one and still pulls it off and makes, you know, him look like he's got a pimp hat. Make it smaller. That's my honest feedback. Make it smaller. All right, next up we have, I saw that one already. Vinyl scratched. So it looks like a record player and not necessarily a record. Okay. Did we look at one of these guys' skins before already? Yeah, I'd seen this one before. I don't like the sticker. I think the sticker is really bad. I think if you're going to incorporate that, it should just be a record and not the buttons and the needle. I would get rid of the buttons and the needle and just make the record sticker fill in the full space where the current sticker is now, and that would look a lot better. I would add, you know what, and the sticker doesn't pop out so much, so maybe what you could do is you could like make the center of the record like TF orange, right? It's like a small little embellishment like that would really help the skin because it's pretty bland, right? And bland skins are fine, but if you're, and I think a little detail, like a little tinge of color, a little something would get this one where it needs to be. Like that previous one with the sand camo, like the beach camo, you know, that, you know, that give it a little bit of contrast to help those details pop more. That's something that this skin needs as well, I think. Like, you know, I think improving the sticker would help it a lot. A little bit too muted. It doesn't show up too strongly. I like the wood texture enough. Yeah, I think the wood is fine. I think the silvery metal is fine. I like the embellishment here. Yeah, I think the sticker is the weakest element of this, and I think if you just made a record and not the needle and the buttons, then it would look a lot better. Does it have a custom wear? His ass is not sniping. Haha, funny emoji meme. Yeah, it does have a custom wear. Okay, I like this. That's good. I like the custom wear. So maybe bump the contrast, or yeah, up the contrast a little bit on the primary wood a little bit. Maybe like more like a walnut, right? Like I'm gonna go back and reference what I think is like the best wood texture in TF2, which is of course from the Gentleman's Collection. So I think if you're gonna change the wood, I would do this. Where's high rollers? My brain is not working for me. High rollers. I think I would go for a darker walnut wood, and then notice how this one wears. It have a much stronger pop with the custom wear underneath. So if the wood is more of a walnut, I think it'd look a lot nicer, like a darker wood. It's too light right now. And then after you tweak that, maybe you might need to slightly adjust the gray and the dark gray. Yeah. Yeah. Like Nutcracker, maybe. Nutcracker's fur. So Nutcracker's a fur texture because it looks like a squirrel, right? So Nutcracker Mark II, yeah. So Nutcracker, you have like the acorn top, but then you have, oh, I fucking hate. So you want with like the fur texture, please. Have one with a lot of the fur texture, please. Here we go. So like this fur texture has a lot more of like the wispy lines, and so you have stronger contrast between smaller elements in here, between like the different wisps. That wouldn't look very good for the wood. I would increase the darkness overall. to make it more like that almost reddish dark brown, then I think it'd be pretty good. And then yeah, you'd probably need to tweak these two other colors, and then to kind of help, you know, get the overall balance there. The sticker, I don't know. I don't like the buttons. I think it should just be a record. I don't know. Or maybe just tweaking the colors on the sticker would help it a little bit. Like, I think you need to bump the contrast. It's not very descriptive, but the sticker doesn't pop as much as it should. And because you have these two buttons off to the side, it shrinks the record and the needle. So maybe just get rid of the buttons and keep the needle, and then scale it up to fill in the whole space of the sticker with the record, and then that's fine. Yes, do that. Get rid of the buttons, keep the needle in the record, and then you're fine. And also make the, and like maybe put, actually, you know what? Going back to like incorporating the team logo, or the TF logo, maybe put like the TF logo in the middle of the record. That'd be cool. Just a thought. Let's see. Next. Stop. He literally made the same fucking coat for Pyro. He just made the same fucking coat for Pyro as he did for Engineer. Yes, I want this. This is Fortnite. It's got the fucking Fortnite zipper. It's got the fucking Fortnite Naruto colors. Fuck off. No, this is not appropriate for the game. No thanks. Hard pass. Let's see. Next. Saw that one already. That one already. Ah, here we go. Okay, so this is one that someone sent me earlier this week, or last week rather. Mechanized monster. Yeah, it's like a Mecha Godzilla reference, which is pretty cool. I like it. I just fucking hate this custom texture. It's so busy. Look how detailed and tiny this is, and you have the incorporation of not only another color but a gradient with the custom texture underneath. It's so fucking busy. Do not do this with custom wares. The furthest you should go with a custom wear, or like the simplest custom wear you can have, is just a solid color underneath, like how Ghoul Blaster does it, right? If you go, the most detailed you can go with a custom wear is what Top Shelf does. So what Top Shelf does... What Top Shelf does is it just wears down to the same texture underneath, except it's washed out and less saturated, right? So it looks like it's been worn down, and you're not revealing another entirely different texture underneath, because then it looks so fucking busy. It's way too busy, and this just does not look good inside of TF2. So what they should do is they should use this same metal texture and then incorporate maybe some embers or some char marks on it, instead of having it wear down to a completely different texture. That's exactly what they need to do. This sticker also doesn't really match TF2's art style at all. I don't think it's appropriate. It looks like a toy gun. Maybe they could have it instead of like Mecha Godzilla, have it be like one of the giants from MVM, like you're fighting a mecha giant instead of Mecha Godzilla, because where does Godzilla ever appear inside of TF2? Also, we're in the 60s and 70s. When was the first Godzilla movie made? When did Godzilla come out? Okay, it's a lot older than I thought. Despite that, when did Mecha Godzilla first appeared? 1974. Okay, so we're barely within the time era of the game, but I still don't think it looks very good. Yeah, I think the custom wear should be a lot simpler, and he's going for a coffin nail-esque texture. Yeah, coffin nail does it well, because coffin nail's custom texture is pretty simple by comparison, right? And so coffin nail does wear down to a separate texture, but it's not nearly as detailed with tiny little cracks. There's not a gradient underneath there. Let me get to it like the shotgun, because the shotgun shows it the best. See, like the texture on top is really simple, and then the wear underneath, you have these big blocks of color with not too many of these smaller details underneath. Whereas you go to here, look how small this gets. Look at this. It's just so tiny. The details are so fucking small, dude. Yeah, it's too busy. If you're gonna go for like the charred ember texture, you really gotta simplify it. and you know, don't make like don't have the embers carry throughout. You know, have it do it like Coffin Nail does. Coffin Nail handles this probably the best, right? Have it do something like this instead of something as detailed as this, and then I think it's a lot better. And then probably tweak the logo to not be Mecha Godzilla. Like, even scaling this up wouldn't do it any favors in my eyes. It might help it a little bit, but it would still be too much extra detail. I still think what they should do is, because you notice how, like, the burn marks go over the metal with higher wear? If it just wore down to, like, a beat-up version of the same metal texture underneath, then I think it would be phenomenal. But this is too much. That's like the biggest reason why I don't like this skin. They gotta swap out that texture. Look at this. Oh, God. Ah. Yeah, it's way too, like, look at this. Look how harsh that is. Yeah, that looks really bad. It's super ugly. Yeah. Yep. Don't think it's a good idea to do it that way. I mean, Factory New looks really clean. Factory New looks pretty fucking clean. I really don't like the sticker. Stylize this for, like, TF2, then I think it'd be a lot better. Yeah, I think this needs some serious work in order for it to be, like, acceptable for the game. So, yeah. Needs work. Needs work. Alright, let's see. This was someone else's concept, I think. What are you going for here? Can I ask what you're going for here? Because it's a little hard to tell. What is this? It's kind of intense. That's actually really intense. You're going for wood here. You're getting there. It needs some work. Looks like flesh and hair. Yeah, it kind of does. It looks like flesh and hair, I don't like the tape either. The tape looks funky. What is this for? What is this? I don't know who the creator is. I lost him in the sea of the chat. Yeah, I don't know what you're going for here, and I think it's really ugly. I think the colors need to be tweaked. It's pretty bright. It's pretty fucking bright. You gotta really tone this down. I'm not sure what you were going for here. Can't draw. I was gonna have a family member help me get the watercolored sky. Oh, you're going for the watercolor sky. Okay, so I think if you want a good reference for that, just look at TF2 skyboxes. So, and like the Earth, Sky, and Fire does that pretty well. Earth, Sky, and Fire. Yeah. So this one handles kind of like that pastel-y, watercolor-y look pretty well. When you're going for it, you like if you look at like a traditional watercolor painting. Not type today, Jesus. So if you look at like a traditional watercolor painting, right, you get in some instances a lot of like this blotchiness and, you know, a lot of the smaller details. This busyness doesn't look very good in TF2. It's not a watercolor style, it's like a painterly style. So introducing this is going to look really weird against the backdrop of the game. So if you're going to go for a watercolor look, you know, go for something like this, where you have larger patches of color, and you can still kind of maybe incorporate that watercolory look around the edges of the elements, but I would not have it run through the entire texture like this. A little too intense with the detail. So I would make the blotches bigger, is the best way I can tell you to do with this one. The wood needs work. The colors are getting there, but I mean, dude, like, I'm assuming you're, like, referencing other wood textures in game, and, you know, just keep working towards it. You're getting there. Yeah, personally, I think the concept is a bit of a dud, because, again, you're trying to incorporate a watercolor style into TF2, which is not really a watercolor style, so it's going to look funky. So you're going to have to really manhandle the idea in order to get it to kind of fit in the game really well. Colors aside, you can tweak the colors all you want to get them into a reasonable state. There's a million different palettes you can use that would fit the game style just fine. But the detailing and the texture is going to be really fucking hard to get it to look right. So I don't know, man. I say keep going for it. I wouldn't scrap it, but it's going to be hard to make it look good. At least in my opinion, it's going to be pretty tricky to get it to look right. So keep at it. I'm curious to see how it gets to, or where it gets to in terms of a finished product, but No. No. No, we don't need all class hard hat. No. I've already addressed the problem of having an all class hard hat in the fucking game. There's only one class in the game that has a fucking hard hat, and it's the engineer. You cannot take elements from other classes and put them on other player models because it's going to completely fuck with team recognition. You should not do this. You don't put the medic's coat on the scout. You don't put the fucking heavy's bullet bandolier on the engineer. It looks fucking weird. It doesn't look good. And naturally, why wouldn't it be paintable with all of the different colors? This is simply not appropriate in my eyes. You should not be incorporating stuff like this in the game. And this is just an engineer only. Okay, so here we go. This one's actually a pretty decent attempt at a visibility vest, where you still have a majority of the player model colored as it should be, but then you have smaller elements of it that are the visibility stripes. That's how you handle it, instead of recoloring half the player model to be orange or yellow. This hits it pretty good. This is now the closest attempt I've seen to get a visibility vest done that actually fits pretty well into the game. This gets a pass for a visibility vest. This is nice. But the hard hat is completely inappropriate, and I don't think it should be put in the game. This is fine. The hard hat is not. Shouldn't be all class. Sorry. The Union uniform. Heavy items. We already kind of have a hat like this in the game already. I'm not averse to it. I'm not averse to having kind of like similar hats because at this point there's so fucking many, you're gonna start getting overlap. But yeah, this looks all right. Very Soviet era, very Soviet, very heavy. I dig it. That's fine. The hat is good. I like it. You can make a lot of good loadouts with it. Good shit. The star looks good. It's not too crazy of an embellishment like I see some people doing lately. So yeah, that's actually pretty good. I like it. Goliath's greatcoat. Nope, we got a problem here. We have very little team coloring on this. At a glance in the game, is this fucking paintable? This better not be fucking paintable. I hope it's not paintable. It doesn't seem like it's paintable. Good. It's a little. It's not enough team color on here at all. Like at a glance from behind, if they're holding their minigun and the heavy's arms are up, it's gonna be so fucking hard to tell what team he's on. Like at a glance, you need to be able to. If you cannot tell what team someone is on at a glance, your item is not good. You have to change the colors. This is an example of that. Not appropriate. I do like how they changed the heavy's logo to have it look like, you know, Russian wartime propaganda. I like that detail. Please keep that in. But you can't recolor half the fucking player model, man. You have to keep the team color there. Absolutely necessary. It's like you look at the fucking heavy, you know? The default fucking heavy. You got a lot more red there, man. You got to keep that in. Too much. It's too much. All right, let's see. There's one more piece to this. Boots. I like the boots. Boots are good. I dig the boots. These are heavy boots. Good shit. Yeah, don't like the coat. I like the hat. I like the boots. You got to incorporate a little more team color element into this. It's too similar. Like these are too similar, I think. Wait, the boots are paintable? Oh, fuck off. No. Oh, there's gloves. Oh, it's boots and gloves. Okay, hold on. Okay, no. These should not be paintable. They're also, okay, yeah. They're also like too dark. As like the boots look fine, but the gloves are too dark as a default. Looks weird, and no, the gloves should not be paintable. Sorry, don't. The heavy should not have his fist colorable. No, sorry, nope. I don't like that one. The only one I like now is the hat. I only like the hat. I don't like the coat, and I don't like the boots, because why do you need to have pink fucking hands? Damn that one. Team item, appropriate. A taunt. Another taunt. Finally, something that isn't a weapon skin. Arsonist's allergies. Okay, these aren't taunts, all right? So these are emotes. These are like Fortnite emotes. These are not taunts. I really don't think we need more of these in the game. Please make them as they are. Make them an actual taunt. And not just like, haha, character does funny thing that we would think the character would do. We really don't need more of them. Don't need more of them. Grease monkey. Oop, didn't mean to click that. I don't like how it darkens. I think it's a bad idea. Stick to one color. I would no, this is not a good idea. No, don't do this. Don't have the entire weapon model darken like it's a what is it, a gunsmith finish in CS:GO. I don't think that's appropriate. I think keep it in the middle ground, keep it in this middle gray, and then just have the custom wear of the oil come on top of it, because then it just gets way too fucking dark, and it looks pretty fucking ugly as a result. Yeah, I would keep the middle gray. That's really the only thing wrong with the skin. In Factory New, this is just a little bit too bright, and then in Battle Scarred, it's really fucking dark. So I would use the middle gray, so it actually kind of blends in with the other two colors in the tertiary and the secondary, and then the custom wear with the oil would look a lot nicer. Yeah, that's exactly what you need to do. That was easy. Let's see. Okay, I'm out of links. Give me more. This is the last one I have, and it's just a whole collection of skins. If anyone has more links, you know, it's a great concept. I just think they don't. I just think having the skin also darken with extra wear is too much, and it looks really bad because it starts off too bright and then it ends off too dark. Just stick with the middle ground that looks good on all wears, and then incorporate the oil custom wear, and then it's fine. And no, not because it's not the norm. I hate. It's so stupid that like people get mad at me. It's like, oh, you're just being contrarian. No, I'm just expressing my fucking opinion. Chill. Well, I can at least start looking at this collection. Let's begin. Truncated. I don't like this one, honestly. The texture works reasonably well. I don't like the big fucking lock on the side. I don't like this sticker. The rest of it's okay. The leather textures mesh reasonably well. The color scheme's good. I mean, the custom wear uses an existing game file, which is fine in my eyes, so long as it's transformative enough and it's using it as a custom wear, so that's okay. Yeah, I think this one's all right. It's not the best. I don't know. I really don't like the lock, and I think the straps, the leather siding on this looks a little funky. I'm just really not sold on this one so much. I'm not big on it. I will downvote it. Road Rash. I think I saw this one before. I'm a fan of this one. I think this one's so cool. Like this is what Sunriser should be. This is a phenomenal skin. I would love to see this in game. This fits the art style and the themes and the tones of this game fucking perfectly. It's an infinitely better fire glazed. It's an infinitely better Sunriser. Incredible texture work on this one. It's so fucking good. Like this is like if Valve were to pick any fucking skin, please pick this one. It's so good. It looks great on everything. It's a phenomenal Warpaint, man. God, it's so fucking good. Also titties, because why not? Fuck yeah, dude. Big muscles and big titties. That's what we're here for. Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Awesome Warpaint. I did look at this one before. I think the saturation is a little bit too high, but beyond that, I think this one's also pretty passable. It gives off kind of the gentleman's collection vibes, as they say. So I would be okay with this one being put in the game. It's pretty saturated, but you know what? I think it'd be cool. It's a nice team colored skin. Looking at it in game, actually, yeah, it's pretty good. Like, and yes, bathroom tiles. It is the bathroom tiles Warpaint. I do remember. The game shot. Okay, so this one's a dartboard. This one's a dartboard. It's a It's pretty busy. It's got a lot of different colors. I love the wood. I love the gray. I love the idea of using a dartboard. I feel like the incorporation of green puts it a little bit over the edge with how much detail should be on a single war paint. It's pretty busy. Also, it's team color between red and blue, too. I feel like if they axed the green, if John C. axed the green and replaced it with, like, the same dark gray in the tertiary, then it'd be a lot better. Because I think the green puts it over the top with, the amount of colors in the game. And I mean, in-game, the texture work looks really fucking good. Actually, yeah, actually, it doesn't look so bad in-game now that I'm looking at these. God, look at that fucking wood texture, man. God, that looks awesome. Fuck. Okay, I changed my mind. This one's actually pretty good. Yeah, I accept that one. Platform plastered. Pretty intense. It's, you know, bright silver. I mean, he gives us some in-game screenshots. I feel like the yellow texture needs to be broken up a little bit. I like the tread plate. The silver's fine. I think you should have incorporated something else to break up the yellow texture. It needs that painterly style. It very reminiscent of Winterland Wraps and how bright and shiny and smooth it is. Not necessarily a bad thing. It's not horrible, but it's pretty fucking bright, you know? Because, like, if you look at this texture and this texture, it kind of has that mottled nature to it that this texture lacks, and I think it would really benefit from having that, and from being a bit darker as well. Yeah. That's about it, but I like the tread plate. I see, like, he was going for the stair lift here, and I'll like it, I'll favorite it. It's pretty cool. I like it. I'm not going to review ones I helped on. Metal Menace. Yeah, the albedo tint also makes it pretty fucking bright. I wonder if you can change that. I don't know if you can. Yeah, it's pretty bright. I think it needs, if it didn't have that tint, if the lack of the tint makes it darker, then I'd be like 100% okay with it. Metal Menace, I really don't think chain link textures look good in TF2. Crosshatch patterns like this only work if they're scaled up really high, like Plaid Podshotter, and the lines are pretty thick. I'm really not a fan of this one, actually. The colors are semi-okay, but I really don't think it looks good on a weapon model. I honestly think this one's a bit of a dud. I like the metal texture a lot and the custom wear to rust, but I think the purple... Oh, it's like the night sky looking through the fence. I'm not a fan of this one, honestly. It's not very good. Blast Pit. Here we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Now we're cooking with gas. I like this one. It's meant to be like, you know, the hazard stripes around Gorge or some shit. You know, it's the bridge. It's the control point on the bridge. Yeah, this is fucking great. I like this one. It's another skin that's like referencing elements from within the game and incorporates the color and texture work into the thoughtfulness behind the weapon model's design. I think this is another really fucking cool one. This one, yes. I approve of that one. This one's a really solid Warpaint. I'd love to see this one in game. It's just good. It's very reminiscent of the Two Fort and Craftsman collections that also happen to reference a lot of stuff that's already in game and meshes quite nicely. It's good. It's like a better hazard warning in my eyes. I like that. Rollout Relished. Okay, so this one's themed after process. I don't like this. Ugly. I like the brighter red and I like the concrete, but I don't like the darker tiles. I really don't. I think that's kind of the Achilles heel with this one, is this darker element looks really bad. I think if he had swapped this out for a neutral texture, like if he swapped that out for a neutral color, like what's like a neutral color on process? Like if he did like a shutter door. If he did a shutter door, because okay, so when you think about rollouts in TF2, what are you thinking about? Jumping over to the shutter, sticking the shutter, and then, you know, taking off. So maybe if he had changed this texture to the shutter, then that would be cooler. Or maybe if he swapped the team element, the brighter team color for this texture, and then put the shutter on here, that would be cool. But I really don't like his decision to use the tiles around the bottom here on process. I don't think that looks very good. Not a fan of this one. I think if he changes the darker texture, it'd look a lot better. Violent Vacation. I like this one. Very, very suitcase. Very, very shirt, belt, and pants. It's shirt, it's belt, it's pants. I like it. I like it. It's like a factory worker showing up for duty. I like this one. It's clean, it's simple. It's a more muted plaid pod shotter. I like this one. This is great. Yeah, we're doing taunts now, so hit me up with some links. Give me dude, taunts, skins, unusual effects, hats, everything. Yeah, this one's nice. This is a nice, clean, simple skin. Again, oh no, my bad. It's the fucking briefcase. It's the briefcase, but it also makes me think of shirt, belt, and pants. Like a guy dressing up and going to work, right? So, yes. I approve of this one. That one is nice. Picnic patterned. I also like this one. If you're going to do pink, if you're going to do pastel-y blue in TF2, gotta mute it. And this is how you do it. This looks great in my eyes. I like the plaid texture. Love the color work on this one. Another nice, simple, clean design. I'm a fan of this one. I would love to see this one in game. And finally, the jet-lagged Warpaint. So this one's also meant to look, this one's meant to look like the Australian case, but again, in my eyes, I think shirt, belt, pants. So it's just a color swap of the previous one. I kind of like this one more, actually. I like neutral colors that play nicely with both teams better than I do team-colored Warpaints for the most part. It's also very nice and simple and clean. I approve this one. So overall, we got, hold on, I'm gonna downvote that one, and I will upvote my own skin. So what is that? 1, 2, 3 out of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12. So 7 out of 12. About a 63% approval rating. Pretty good. Or is that 57%? My numlock broke. Fuck. 58%. My bad. Almost got it with 57. Cool. Okay, next. Saw that already. Condescending clap. Is it actually a taunt? Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's actually a taunt. Just like, there we go. And a legitimate taunt. I approve. Show me. Okay, yeah, that's good. Here we go. An actual taunt. There we go. Yeah, an actual taunt. Thank you. I approve of this one. Oh, 2016! No, we're never gonna get it in game. We're just gonna get Fortnite emotes of the pyro toasting marshmallows and the heavy driving a small little toy car because haha, funny, wacky. Yay! I'm so excited for a fucking Scout like making sushi or something, and then I don't fucking know. Yay! No more taunts. Bummer. We'll never see this in game. We'll never see it in game. We're only gonna get shitty Fortnite emotes. Medium menacing. This is a more recent submission. And here we just have a Fortnite emote and not an actual taunt. I mean, kind of maybe you could say it's a taunt like Scouts like flexing on the kids. Actually, yeah, I guess you could say this is more of a taunt than an actual emote. Like if it was just like flexing and like on one arm, fine, but like doing it on the both sides. Remember when Meet Your Match came out? I haven't played TF2 back then. I've been playing since 2011 and watching the very slow degradation and rot that this game has been going through over the past 7 years is incredibly depressing, to the point where now I likely give better feedback and critique on all this shit on the workshop and, you know, actually care about the art style, and no one else fucking does. It fucking sucks. That's where we are now. where a random guy has to give his commentary about shit people make in order to hopefully prevent the game from dipping further into the hellhole that it's going into. Fucking sucks. Ugh. No. No, this is too much. Too much. There's a reason why the missing texture is what it is, and it's meant to be noticeable, bright, and fucking ugly, so when you get in your game, you go, oh shit, something is missing. Not appropriate for taunts, or cosmetics, or skins, it just, no. There's a no. Hard no on that one, for sure. The Spectre's Rag. Is this meant to be fucking Madness Combat? This is meant to be Sanford, isn't it? This is Sanford. Yeah, this is Sanford. Okay, all right. I'm okay with that. So here's the thing. I always get on people's asses for referencing external media, like trying to put in like a Guilty Gear character into TF2, or like a fucking like a or like an anime reference inside of TF2. You know, most things do not mesh well with the tone of TF2, right? Like you can't put fucking Pickle Rick in TF2. It's fucking retarded. Don't do that. What works is stuff like Madness Combat, because what is Madness Combat? It's effectively an incredibly violent wartime animation, right? Where you have mercenaries and hired hands and people just fucking shooting each other, right? Automatically, that fits the tone of what TF2 is, right? And then you can take elements of the characters from that and really incorporate that into the game, right? And you can, if you make it match the style of the game, it can look quite good. And this is one of those examples where, yeah, it's not bad. It fits pretty nicely, actually, and it doesn't look terrible at all. You got, like, nice camo pants for the heavy, you got the hook on the back, fine, totally okay, and you got the do-rag and the glasses. I think it's okay. Adult Swim's crossover kind of works too, right? Yeah, I mean, some of the Aqua Teen Hunger Force cosmetics work reasonably well for the heavy. Some of the stuff from Venture Bros is questionable, but it's... like, it's okay, the Venture Bro stuff's like half and half okay, but the Aqua Teen Hunger Force stuff, you know, it's all right. I like this item set. I think it'd be like a cool nod. It'd be a cool nod. Then again, did this guy get like permission from Crinkles? I hope he did. Be unfortunate if he didn't, because he's using the likeness of his characters in a TF2 item. I hope he got permission. Hopefully he reached out. It'd be good if he did. Because if he gets those items in game and makes money off of it, he's making money off of the likeness of someone else's character. So, hopefully he did. Yeah, and then we have the fucking My Little Pony items we have the fucking pony items that were put in the game. Fuck off. Ugh. That sort of shit doesn't belong, right? That doesn't belong. Sunburn Suit. Yeah, I can't wait to give Pyro a t-shirt. No. Like it works for Demo Man. Because you can perfectly envision Demo Man fucking sipping a beer on the beach, fucking his shirt's open, fine. Pyro? No. Like, this is not appropriate, I don't think. Not appropriate. Holy shit! No. What are you thinking? What is this? What is this, dude? It's fucking all white. What the fuck is this, man? Holy shit. No, that's... No, absolutely fucking not, dude. What the fuck? Nope, that is, not okay. That's too much. Holy God. Wow. Oh. Nope. Nope. I'm out of links. Anybody got anything else? I can do a couple more. I can do a couple more if anybody's got any more. If the problem with that last one wasn't obvious, it recolors half the Pyro's fucking player model to something that isn't team colored and is way too saturated. Simply inappropriate for the game. Does not belong at all. I mean, honestly, again, anything made by this guy is an automatic downvote for me because he uses stock assets all the time. Alright, we're getting a few more. Getting a few more here. Here we go. Let's begin. Have I seen this? Let's find out. Gunslinging General. Okay, honestly, compared to the poncho and the other Western style cowboy hat we have for Soldier already, this one is infinitely better than that one we have now. This one is way more well modeled. The texturing is better. It fits the Soldier a lot more in my eyes. It's I will always prefer the hat with no name. I think that's far more befitting of him than like this fucking poncho is so bad. Oh, it's horrible. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good hat. I'm a fan of it. Looks good. I actually like the one without the facial hair more. Like this looks cooler in my eyes. I like that. I don't think this is, I don't know. It's like what it sucks that the engineer doesn't have a 6-shooter. Like, why does the engineer not have a 6-shooter yet? It's like, he needs one. Because it's not, like, cowboy hat fits the Soldier fine, like, the poncho fits, or whatever you want to call it, fits the Soldier fine, but, like, the dual revolvers on his hips really don't fit the character, and I don't think they're appropriate. Having a shotgun shell bandolier, absolutely, because he uses a shotgun, so that's totally fine. I would get rid of the 6-shooters on either side. I don't think that's appropriate, but I would keep everything else. That's okay. Beyond that, yeah, I think it's a pretty solid item set. Yeah. Yeah, I like this, I like this, I like this, I like this. This needs no revolvers, and then I think it's fine. Ooh, many moss links. Did I end up commenting on this? Oh God. What is this, dude? Well, here we have another instance of amateur work. It's a start. They're trying to emulate the Luger morph. It looks like they just ripped the textures off the Luger and then put them on a fucking Warpaint. Is that what they did? It kind of looks like that's what they did. Did they just rip the textures? Yeah, it looks really bad. So the Luger morph gets away with it because it's like a rare, not so common promotional item, and that's the problem with the promotional items from Sam and Max is they kept the style of the weapons from Sam and Max and just put them in the game, so they don't look all that great in TF2. And so when you put those textures on all of the weapon models, it doesn't look good, and I don't think this is appropriate. I'm not a fan of it. Yeah, and yeah, the Luger is small as hell as well, so when you bump these textures onto bigger weapon models, it's just... I don't think it looks very good. It's not appropriate. The texture work doesn't really fit the game, and it doesn't look... It's kind of ugly, honestly. But let's see. Why? Okay, so, like, now, why? Like, okay, I like the hair, I like the mustache, I actually don't mind this too much. It's a bit much, actually, now that I think about it. It's pretty intense. You got a lot going on here. Not the worst, but you're treading the line with going a little bit too far out of what is and is not a TF2 cosmetic. This is kind of going into the territory of too much. You're changing too much. It's well made, you know, but like if it wasn't a long trench coat thing, I think it'd be better. It's not bad though. The hat's a bit much. Like this, like what part of this is the engineer? Why does the engineer need a pimp card dealer's hat? This is not reflective of his character at all. I'm not really big on it. I don't think it's appropriate. Reminds me of this. What does it? Why does that remind you of this? Or these? Oh, this reminds you. More concepts. So keys and a soda, or is that a beer? A cigarette. I feel like the engineer is more of a cigar. I feel like the engineer is more of a cigar guy or a cigarillo guy, not so much a cigarette guy. I think that was a cigar, like the cigarillo, the small one, like the small cigars. That'd be better. The beer's fine, and yeah, these are nice little embellishments. I think that's fine. I don't think. Yeah, there you go. Cigars. There you go. Yeah, that's more appropriate for the engineer. The whiskey, totally fine. Texans love their whiskey. I don't think he needs. Like, I would swap. I would put these in like a pocket and not like a little humidor, because that's like too funky looking. Like, I think the beer, like the whiskey and the cigar are fine, but these little embellishments look kind of funky. These look a little bit better, because like I would imagine having like the keys on his hip, and I would have like the cigarettes or the cigars in like a breast pocket, right? Not like attached to the side like a utility belt, right? Like, or I would swap out the beer or the whiskey for the cigars or the cigarettes inside of his pouch instead of having an additional detail on there, right? So, I understand the engineer has got his vices, but yeah, I would have these in a pouch or like in a pocket instead of just having it slapped onto the side of like a utility belt. It looks kind of funky. I think that would look better. Oh, and heavy too. No, not appropriate for pyro at all. I don't think it's necessary. I accidentally grabbed that one. Yeah, it's way more fitting for the engineer. It's not a pyro cosmetic. I don't think it works for pyro. Just keep it for the engineer. Way more appropriate for him, not for pyro. And yeah, we do have a lot of... Well, okay, so I think pouch items are okay, but we have enough pocket companion cosmetics, like the pocket Yeti and the pocket Pauling and the pocket Santa. Fuck all of those, right? If you're gonna put something in the mercenaries' pockets, have it actually be something that you would expect to find in their fucking pockets, right? Not like a little plushie of a Yeti. No, put a fucking beer can in there. That's fine, right? Put the fucking whiskey bottle in there. Engineer needs to fucking cool off having to deal with this dumb shit fucking team, right? Yeah, let the man have his vices. Don't give him a fucking pocket Santa or pocket Halloween boss and dumb shit like that, right? That's stupid. Have stuff that you would actually find in his pockets, right? That's like, you know, themed for the team, right? You would expect the engineer to, to have his beer, to have his whiskey, to have his fucking cigars, right? That's totally fine, but not pyro. Ugh. This is ugly. Ew. Ooh, it's like, it's got this weird 3D effect. Like 3D textures and effects like this are just not appropriate for TF2. This does not look good at all. Like, I'm a fan of, like, silver or chrome skins, but this isn't the way to go about it. This does not look like a TF2 texture at all. It's really fucking ugly. Like, you gotta make this look like a TF2 texture, man. Yeah, the 3D effect makes it look, yeah, it hurts my eyes, too. It's just not a TF2 texture at all. It would look really out of place. And I mean, it also doesn't surprise me that fucking Crow made this and attached his fucking boyfriend or traitor girlfriend, because all this guy seems to be able to do is make really shitty skins that are based off of existing unusual effects. Like, this is trash. It's so bad. We reviewed this one last time. It's like, this guy just can't really seem to get his act together with making reasonable cosmetics. This fucking stupid. Hard no on this one. We really don't need even like a fake beard for Scout. We don't need gag items. Stop it. We don't need more. No more gag shit. Stupid. No more wacky, zany, stupid stuff. We got enough of it. I think you broke the link, Arthur. Here we go. Yeah, this, like, the engineer is the best one. It doesn't look very good for heavy. This isn't... Yeah, I would keep it for the engineer. Not for heavy or pyro. Heavy's not a smoker. At least I wouldn't think he's a smoker anyway. He's pretty straight. He's pretty straight-laced in my eyes. Let's see what else we got. We saw that already. This will be the last one I do for the day. All right, last one. Last one. Copper. It's literally just copper. Okay. I mean, it's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad, honestly. I just... I like how it keeps the, you know, the exposed portions of the weapon model to kind of give you something that breaks up the, it breaks up the flat green, and the copper has, you know, it has some of that modeling on there, that, you know, like the metal texture modeling, so it's pretty good. Yes, the maps, thank you for reminding me. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Kind of unfortunate the loose cannon is just all copper and not enough of like the exposed parts of the weapon model to kind of balance it out. Yeah, I think this is fine. I honestly at this point we really need like simple weapon skins that keep weapons looking like weapons. We really don't need paintings and tacky patterns, and like honestly, seeing a simple skin like this is really just like a nice breath of fresh air. And it's not just like a sticker bomb or like a really horrifically ugly pattern, or just like honestly, put this one in game, please. Just give us something simple, man. That's what we need. Just something simple, really. It's like every now and again, you need a good glass of just fucking tap water. This is the tap water. It'll hydrate you. It'll get the job done. Oh, gimme. Oh yeah, we've seen Warpaint fixes before, where they fix all the problems with Warpaints. Valve will never implement them. Be great, but they won't. Oh, there's one more. This link. Jeans. Alright, you gotta work on the jean texture a bit. Is this meant to be leather, or is this meant to be wood? The colors are okay, but I think the details and the grain are pretty small. It's okay. Okay, rather, this is the denim, and the team color, the denim's gonna be team colored between red and blue. Okay, I'm seeing that now. And then what's this supposed to be? Not sure what this is supposed to be here. But if this is the denim, that makes sense that this is denim, but I'm not sure what this part's supposed to be. Grain multiply is supposed to be a stain. Oh, so this is like stainless steel, like a belt, you mean? Or like the buttons you'd see on a pair of jeans. Because if that's the case, okay, that makes more sense now. Whoa! That's really fucking red. Holy shit! Oh, okay, never mind. Everything's like super saturated there. Yeah, it has the denim look to it. I think you pulled it off. I would the metal texture needs work, I think. It doesn't look like metal, it just looks like more cloth, like it's like stripes. I would adjust this texture more to look more like metal. So honestly, like not a lot of weapons use metal textures like the brass beast does, but I think this would be a good opportunity for a metal texture. Like, where's the fucking iron, or iron wood rather? So like this has this metal texture on here. You see how it's kind of modeled like that? I would go for a metal texture like this for the stainless steel, like the same colors, but this kind of detailing on it. I think that would look a lot better than like the stripy texture that you have now. So, yeah. Okay. All right, that's enough. We've been going for quite a while now. So thank y'all for hanging out. Maps. post links to maps that you would like for me to check out, or tell Aaron to check out on his stream. Post links to maps, please. And hopefully we'll get to as many of them that look as playable as possible. Because last time we did this, someone sent a map that was borderline unplayable because of a lot of errors and issues that were incorporated and not dealt with. So yeah, we'll do a better job at vetting which ones are good and which ones are not. So send maps. Send me maps if you have any. I'm gonna cut the recording there actually, 'cause